I think when I was meditating just before the talk here, so Ajahn Brahm, he likes to encourage his monks to not plan their talks, just meditate, prepare the mind, and then come up here and, talk. So when I was meditating just now, a subject came up to mind. It just kind of like came up when I was sitting there. So I guess the topic is happiness in meditation. Yeah, happiness in meditation is just kind of like, oh yeah, this because right now is the rains retreat, as you know, in Newbury, at many monasteries that are around the world, and at Bodhinyana, Ajahn Brahm encourages to really maximize our meditation time during this time. So basically, just meditation. If you can just sit down and do nothing the whole 3 months, imagine that. Most people would think, oh, is that possible? Just every day, 12 hour, 24 hour, 12 hour a day, just kind of like doing nothing. Is that possible? Is a little bit radical. Ajahn Brahm is very radical. And if you follow his instructions, it's possible. Very much so. You can really do nothing for 3 months and you get very happy. And, most people think, oh, you'll be bored. You'll just go crazy. You start thinking, you get negative. But if you listen, to the Dhamma or some of his Dhamma talk, the inspiration comes up, and you just be patient. Maybe at the first 2 weeks, first month, maybe the mind is a little bit kind of like, you have to adjust the mind to kind of wait for it to settle down, because it's just like, like a water cup simile. Ajahn Brahm usually, oh yeah, that's how you meditate. So when you first meditate for the first maybe 2 weeks or a month, well, the water's going to shake. It's going to be a lot of like all kinds of stuff. But if you don't listen to those thoughts, you don't listen to the thinking mind, and you don't believe in them, and it's just going to settle down over time. You have that patience and wisdom, and you follow the instructions and don't do much. Don't talk. Don't limit your activity. And then slowly, your mind starts to kind of calm down over time. It kind of rebels, and sometimes it's really like, starts to really shake and get really like rebel, right? But after that initial, that really hurdle, the big hurdle, once you overcome that, then the mind goes down. It starts to become very still, very quiet. And when that happens, that's when the happiness starts to take off. Yeah, slowly. You can't notice at first. Sometimes you're, oh yeah, it's just kind of like going along. You can't tell. Yeah, but the longer you wait, the longer the days go by, the weeks go by, then you're like in the middle of the retreat, and you're like, whoa, suddenly there's this like happiness comes up, this very stable, tranquil, stability of mind, peace, stillness, silent, and you can find yourself really enjoying doing nothing for most of the day. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to disturb that happiness. And that's very, very like inspiring to see that. You're like, wow, this is really happening. It's not, and Ajahn Brahm is just not, just saying false things. He's not just building you up, but these things are real when you experience it for yourself. So as the retreat goes on, over the years that I've experienced the Rains Retreat, it's a very pleasurable time if you can keep quiet. And so, in the middle of the range, you start getting very happy, and by the second half of the range, your momentum is going very well. It's like it's sustaining itself. The meditation and the schedule and the routine sustaining itself. You don't have to think about it. You just go get your food. You do a little bit of chores, washing, bathing, and you get into that rhythm. And then so you're happy that you're getting like very blissful throughout the day. In your sits, you just want to sit, You don't want to do anything else. So once that takes off, and by the end of the rains, you don't want it to end. You want it to keep going. After the 3 months, that's not enough. You want it to maybe another 3 months. Not, but we have to come out. And it's always a drag to come out. I'm like, I have to go back to work. I have to deal with all this stuff. Why can't we just take another 3 months off when the rain ends? So these happiness that I'm talking about, meditative happiness, is very real. And when I first started, maybe just coming to the temple and practicing maybe at home for meditating 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you build up over the years, over the weeks, over time, the momentum, the peace. So these things take a lot of years to cultivate. I mean, I think it's been 15 years since I've been meditating now, and as a monk, you have more time to meditate. So it's something worthwhile to cultivate. It's not something like it's gonna happen like instantly overnight. Yeah, it's not gonna happen like that. For most people, it's gonna take years of dedication, of putting in the time. But it's not so much of a drag, because you see improvements in happiness throughout the whole process. So even if you're meditating only like 15, 20 minutes a day, you can, at the end of the meditation, Ajahn Brahm recommends we look for the happiness. At the end, you can see how was the beginning and how does it feel at the end. And you can see that there's an improvement, more stillness and peace in your life. And then that's what kind of drives you to continue, from day to day, meditative schedule. So it's not all a drag, or you have to like grind your teeth and just put in the time. It's not like that. It's not like, it's the path of groaning. It's not a path of groaning. It's a path of happiness. Meditation is happiness. So if you see that, then that can encourage you to just do it, because it's so happy. It's sort of like having a nice meal, like whatever food you like, Italian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese. Yeah, it's like meditation. I see it like that. So I was like, I'm having noodles today again, my favorite food. Pho. So it's like, so how could you not want to eat your favorite food every day? It's just like, it's kind of like pulls you in, right? It's like it's having a nice meal. The meditation is like that. If you see it like that, it's not a drag. It's something you look forward to. You want to do it. You can't help but to sit down and meditate. Yeah. So you start off with those little happiness, and it builds up over the months, the weeks, the years, and it gets bigger and bigger. The longer you keep it up, becomes very, very blissful and very. It's like there's no bad side effects, compared to like maybe some of the other things we do in life, drinking a lot of coffee or, drugs or alcohol, those things you do, you have a negative effect. But meditation actually has a positive side effect. You become a happier person, a wiser person, seeing things clearly, having very few problems in your life, and knowing how to solve your own problems in your life instead of having to come to ask somebody for help. You have your own wisdom, and that wisdom comes from the stillness of the mind, the clarity of mind, seeing the problems in life clearly and how to solve it, because it's like the water bottle simile. When the water is moving, you're not going to see through it very clearly. Then you start thinking and trying to solve your problem through thinking, and thinking doesn't help. But by clarity, meaning putting the water bottle down, and then it becomes still by itself. You don't do anything. And once that stillness and clarity is there, you can see through the water what the problems are, what's there. So that's called wisdom, seeing clearly. Yeah? So that's an excellent simile of Ajahn Brahm gives how to meditate. It's the water bottle simile. You don't hold it. You don't try to use effort. You don't, try to think your way or hold the water bottle. It's so easy. Put it down. Relax to the max. Relax. That's all we need to do. Learn how to relax. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping to teach maybe a weekend retreat. I'll probably be called named Relax to the Max. That's probably the title. So that's all you'll be doing in the retreat, relaxing. No striving, no trying to get any goal, doing your personal best. No, all you do is relax to the max. See how much relax you can get. And that's the best way to meditate, relaxing. Yeah? Okay. Oh, it's about time. Okay. So I think that's enough about happiness through meditation, and I'll open it up for Q&A now. Yeah?
Thanks, Ajahn. We alternate the question between in the hall and online. So if you have any question, pass on the mic to you.
Thanks, Ajahn. You just mentioned, don't be striving with meditation, just allow it to happen. But I find that if I don't take some focus to the breath and be consciously aware of the breath, then the mind will just run around all over the place. So I have to use some effort to go, okay, just be here with the breath, which is a bit contrary to what you're saying.
Exactly. So to explain that, your effort is the effort to get on the cushion. Yeah? That's it. The effort is just to get on your cushion. After that, then you relax to the max. So, like, your question is, the mind will go astray if you let it go all over the place and not focus on the breath, right? So, trying to focus on the breath is sort of like, again, holding the water bottle. It can get quite still. Some people have like very good concentration, They can concentrate. And then it gets quite still sometimes. And you think, oh yeah. But suddenly a thought comes in and blows it up. You cannot concentrate anymore. Yeah? Only to a certain point. But the full stillness, you have to put it down. Yeah? So the breath thing. So first of all, the method that I like to use is from Ajahn Brahm also, relaxing the body first, parts by part. So that helps your mindfulness kind of focus on the coarser kind of object, yeah? And then when you relax your body, you also relax the mind. And so after scanning your body, relaxing, then you go into the mind, and then you put down the past, put down the future, then what's left is just the present moment. And the present moment could be various things. It could be the breath, it could be thoughts, it could be sensations, good or bad. And the next thing is to have kindness to whatever's happening. So you open the door of your heart to whatever's happening in this present moment. So it could be thoughts, unpleasant, pleasant, or anything. But you open the door of your heart to that. You don't try to get rid of it. You don't try to focus on the breath and get rid of the thoughts. See, that's the thing. You try to get rid of the thoughts by focusing on the breath. But by doing that, you're causing more waves on the surface. So just relaxing, allowing the thoughts to be, opening the door of your heart, and you can see slowly the thoughts will calm down. And over time, when there's kindness, then the thoughts will really it just kind of disappears. And then sometimes the breath comes up. That's the time to look at the breath. When the breath comes up naturally without you looking for the breath. You know what I mean? You're not looking for the breath. Somehow the breath's kind of come up to you. Hi, how you doing? And the breath wants to hang out with you. And then you just kind of hang out with the breath. You're not like trying to grab the breath. You're just hanging out. His breath just kind of come in and come out. He's just kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, you want to stay with me? Okay, I'll hang out with you, breath. You can go if you want. You can stay if you want. So having that open attitude of not trying to grasp, focus, then the mind becomes still, because the default state is stillness. Is like I said, the default state when you put it down is to be still. It's only moving if you want something or trying to get rid of something. So I think Ajahn Chah's simile is the leaf on the tree. It's moving only because of the wind. The wind of wanting is blowing. So somewhere along the line, you're wanting something. You wanting to get rid of something, or you want to get something. And that moves the mind. So you have to catch that. Sometimes we don't know that we're even doing it. Yeah?
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a little more difficult for us lay people in the world than the monastics, because we have commitments to meet and obligations to fulfill. So it's a bit like trying to settle the mind. The mind's still going on about, yeah, have I done this, have I done that, I've got to do that. And it's a little more difficult. I suppose I need to be more kind to myself if I haven't made good on the commitments and obligations.
Yeah, the kindness is very important. The kindness basically is not trying to solve all the problems in the world. It's sort of like giving yourself a break, yeah? Like, oh yeah, now is the time to just put down everything and you relax and have a break, recharge your energy. Not trying to solve any problem, not trying to get like stillness or get peace, or, if you're trying to get peace or you're trying to get something from the meditation, then you're not, you're gonna get the opposite, because meditation is letting go of things. You're not trying to gain something. If you have the attitude of gaining in meditation, you sit down to gain something, you're not gonna get anything but trouble. So meditation is when you sit down, you let go of burdens of the past, of the future, of striving, wanting, not wanting. So those are the things that we put down, like a heavy burden, put down. So peace and happiness comes when you put down the burden. Just like you're holding a heavy bottle, heavy weights. It's heavy if you keep holding it, right? If you keep holding it longer, this problem I have in my life, I keep holding it. The longer you hold it, the more achy your arm is. All you need to do is just have a break, just a little break. And then when you pick it up, it's like, it's not so bad. It's very light. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn. A question from Bolivia. Ajahn, when I have some happiness in my meditation and I become aware of it, it suddenly disappears like a shy animal. Or what can I do to maintain this bliss? Do I just let it go? Thanks.
That's a good question, isn't it? Happiness comes and you recognize it and it runs. So I think not just recognizing, you're probably wanting it to stay is the problem. You're grasping at it. You're like, ooh, instead of just like enjoying the kind of standing back and kind of watching and enjoying the feeling, you're sort of like, I want more of that, in a very subtle way, very subtle. So you're trying to get more. And when you want, you get involved, runs away. Yeah, because you're disturbing the stillness. The stillness is where the happiness arises. The stiller it is, the more happy it becomes. Yeah? So you're disturbing it somehow. So try to stay still. Just don't grasp at it. And over time you'll learn. The more you come across the problem, you know that you'll learn that you're grasping at it. Yeah? So just leave it alone.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Hmm.
Yep.
Ajahn, concept of stillness is not clear to me because it seems like existence is a dynamic interplay between plus and minus, or it's a duality. So everything exists because of some duality. So absolute stillness means there's nothing.
Yeah.
So as long as we're alive, there's always this constant interplay, and I guess the only time you feel comfortable or peaceful is when there's a balance between positive and negative, but there can't be existence without those two. So what do you mean by stillness?
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I meant what you were saying about that. Stillness is just like the mind state when you're not doing anything. As in, like, you know, if we're, I don't know, 100% still, then we're almost like dead. Yeah, and that happens in meditation where people get into these jhana states where the five senses disappear. You can't see, hear, taste, touch, all those things are gone. Almost dead. Breathing pretty much gone. So that's what I'm talking about, the deep states of meditation where, you know, the five senses is gone and you're as though you were dead, but you're still alive, tiny bit left.
So you feel happy when you're dead?
Well, when in meditation, the closer you get to the stillness, you feel very happy. It's experience-wise, it's not kind of thinking. It's when you try it out and it happens and you're like, oh, wow, how is that possible? Because, you know, when I first meditated, I was like, wow, I'm very happy. How come no one ever told me about this? Because it's very, I don't know, different from the world. The world, we experience happiness through doing things and experience excitement and, you know, experiencing with the five senses, playing around with the five senses, traveling, you know, eating, stuff like that. But this is like something different. That's why I was very astonished when I first meditated. I was like, oh, no one told me about this. This is something different. It's going the opposite direction. Yeah, shutting down the five senses.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'd like to add to his questions. Yeah, the stillness, and then you come to the nothingness. I have been reading some of the Buddha's teaching, and in some of his teaching, the Buddha did encourage his disciples to enjoy the Nibbana. Maybe Ajahn can talk about the meaning of Nibbana.
Nibbana, wow, okay. Enjoying Nibbana. That's pretty far, but yeah, like Nibbana is like, what is Nibbana? Nibbana, the word in Pali means extinguishing. So there's a candle over there, you know, so to Nibbana, the candle Nibbanas, it means it's gone out. Yeah? So that's the original word of Nibbana. It's practical. The candle Nibbanas, it basically goes out. So Nibbana, in the Buddhist terms, is Parinibbana is the going out of the five khandhas of the body and mind. So it's not going to be reborn again. It's gone out like a flame. It just kind of poof, disappears, and not coming back again. Does that make sense? The candle going out, the five khandhas going out, not Not getting reborn again?
Yeah, the word not getting reborn is I haven't understood it completely.
You're getting reborn again. Okay.
Yeah, not being reborn again. I
You have
haven't
to-
understood it completely.
You have to remember your past life in order to understand that. Because if you don't remember your past life, then you can't understand getting reborn, can you? You can only understand it conceptually, but you're not going to know exactly what it means, right? So you have to remember your past life to understand that. Yeah? Okay.
Thank you for the question. Ajahn, another question from online. If we relax to the max in meditation, does it open the subconscious to release suppressed aspect of the conditioned mind? Those we might feel a suffering as release the move through our consciousness, and though it become more empty.
Yeah, you can say does help relieve a lot of pressure and stress. When you relax, you're letting go of a lot of burdens, a lot of blocked chi, a lot of stuff that causes sickness and cancers and stuff like that. So that's more in the body though, yeah. So, in our modern world, we have a lot of sicknesses or cancers that we're, unable to cure. And we got all this so-called technology advances, yet it can't cure cancer. Yeah? And then it keeps getting worse and worse. Why? Because the cause of cancer, we haven't located it yet. The real cause of these sicknesses is in the mind, in the tenseness, the stress of life, and that manifests itself in the body. The mind manifests to the body. Then so we should cure through the mind, look at the mind as a source of where the problem comes. So by relaxing to the max, we're opening up all the blockages of the mind and body, and letting the chi flow, all the energy flow freely, and that's like healing, very healing. Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn. We have a couple of questions from the floor.
Hi, thank you for today. During the morning, the prayer at the start, it said to be free of duty. What does it mean to be free of duty? So
Unburdened with duties. Is it unburdened? Yeah, unburdened. What is it, unburdened with duties? Meaning you have responsibilities in life. You know what your priorities are. You do the ones that are most important. But we know as human beings, it's not 100%. You just look around. The trees, nature, it's not all straight and perfect. Human beings are not straight and perfect. Even technology is not straight and perfect. But yet we try to control all these things and try to make it 100%. And when we try to make it 100%, we stress out. We go, oh, why? I work so hard. I do all this, I have to put all this effort in. Yet, it's not 100%. Then we get sickness and cancer. We try to control something that we cannot, that can't be controlled. We're asking from the world something it cannot give you because of the law of impermanence. Things change. It's only perfect for maybe, a couple minutes, and then it changes. Then it's imperfect again. Then you have to start all over again, right? Then you suffer. You go, oh, how come it can't be perfect? Because it cannot be like that. The world isn't perfect. So if we understand through wisdom that the world isn't perfect, then we don't expect so much of ourselves and others. Like Ajahn Brahm says, 70% is good enough, 30% is where we learn. 30%. So allowing ourselves to make mistakes is a big part. When you allow yourself to make mistakes, you don't make as much. you're more like relaxed, so you don't tense up. So then we make less mistakes. But know that in the world there will always be that little flaw or things will go wrong, because that's the nature of the world. And if you understand that, then you can be happy. You can go, oh yeah, it's all right, 70%, that's good enough. Yeah? Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. A question for online. Can Ajahn please explain how to practice Dhanyata state in daily, in day-to-day's life? So there would be something like impermanence and emptiness.
How to practice what?
How to practice Sunyata.
Sunyata. Ooh, sunyata. Emptiness. How to meditate. That's how you practice emptiness. Sit down and disappear. Yeah. So just reminding yourself that things are impermanent and then they will change. Therefore, you can't control it. Therefore, it's not you. Therefore, it's empty. Okay? That's the short answer.
Any questions in the room?
Ajahn, would you like to please to explain what is the difference between emptiness and nothingness?
I think it's about the same, isn't it? It sounds like it's the same.
Based on my understanding, it's a different.
Okay.
Different,
What's your understanding of nothingness and emptiness?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, for my current understanding, I think the nothingness is without starting and then without ending. But the
nothing meaning without starting, without an ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the emptiness, I think, what I understand is, based on what we discussed with several people saying that we have to understand the emptiness, anatta.
Oh, anatta. Okay. Yeah. I understand anatta more than the other one. So I'll talk more about the emptiness of anatta, yeah? So what does anatta mean? It means empty of something, empty of a self.
Yeah.
And so that's what emptiness means. It means there's nobody there. It's just a process. What you call a person is a process. The 5 khandhas is just a process of kind of like, aging, you go through a process and then it keeps going. When you die, it starts, the process keeps going. So empty of like a permanent essence, permanent self, a permanent entity that's always there. The process is something is always changing and moving. So this person will be reborn into another person, and it's still changing. It'll be different, but like a permanent entity, meaning something. There's always something connecting that from life to life. There's something like permanent, like Atma. So that emptiness is emptiness of a permanent self. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ajahn, question for online.
Mm-hmm.
If we have chi energy moving through the body, then we must have subtle bodies, something Theravada Buddhism do not mention.
Subtle body. I'm not really sure on that concept. I know we have a physical body and we have a mind-made body. Mind-made body meaning it's not physical. It's like I don't know what you call it. It's like when you die, you go to the ghost realm, and the ghost realm, the ghosts have a mind-made body. I mean, it still looks exactly like you, but you can't really. Not everyone can see it. It's like mind made out of the mind, so it's not physical. People can't. Not everyone can see you. So I would say, yeah. So is that the question?
Yeah, I think it depends how we define the subtle bodies.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the mind-made body. So that's the subtle body that how I would understand it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Ajahn.
If we have more time, we can do a little meditation at the end and have less questions. Answer your own questions to meditation. Okay.
Yeah, so bringing back into meditation, so earlier, so there are two things, right? The first thing is about stillness, where you kind of don't think about things. Like you let it go and you're just kind of relaxing and you're relaxing to the max, as you mentioned. But then how do you balance that with trying to getting insight? Because this is what I sometimes struggle with as well. When I meditate, I just kind of relax, but then I feel like I don't do the second part where trying to talk about the non-self or the trying to understand the actual causes kind of a way. So my question basically is, how do you try to balance that relaxing to the max with trying to do a little bit more insight? Thank you.
Okay. So, how to explain that? So, like the simile of the water bottle, when you meditate, you put the water bottle down. So that's like, some people call that samatha. Yeah? So when it becomes perfectly still, you see through it. That's vipassana. You see through the water. So it has to be samatha first before vipassana can arise. Yeah? It has to be perfectly skilled. So the wisdom or the vipassana is seeing clearly. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is that it will come naturally when you're still enough and do not focus specifically on trying to do that.
Exactly.
I see, okay.
Wisdom or vipassana will arise naturally. You don't have to put any effort.
Ajahn, can you explain the concept of samadhi?
Samadhi? Samadhi is stillness. So once again, water bottle, put it down, become still. Samadhi happens automatically. You don't do samadhi. When you get out of the way, samadhi happens. So people think, oh yeah, I have to meditate, I have to do meditation. No, you just get out of the way. You don't do anything, and meditation happens when you get out of the way. Yeah? Don't get involved.
How does that relate to non-duality?
Non-duality.
As in the observer and the observed are one and the same.
The observer and the observed is the same? Not sure about that concept. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Don't know that, yep.
Jean, was there any online?
Any other questions from the floor? I think we have a couple of questions at the start of the talk.
Hi, Jen. Thank you again for the talk. I had a question earlier before the talk about because you were an IT graduate. And I would like to understand, with all the digitalization, all the new technology, AI and everything, how do you think people will be able to find mindfulness and stillness in this ever-changing world?
You mean like having more devices and technology in your life?
Yes. Is it basically helping them, or is it basically not helping them?
I guess it depends how you use the technology. Now we have so much access to so many Dhamma talks all over the world, and so easily live streamed, like now, that another person from across the world can ask Dhamma questions. And that's very helpful to them. If you have a meditation question that you're in a country, not a non-Buddhist country, and you're meditating there, and this will allow you to have your questions answered. So I think that's very beneficial, because maybe 100 years ago that wasn't possible. But also, like anything, there's always a downside, depending how you're using it. So if you're using it for other means like entertainment or distractions and, more negative means, then that can also be a bad thing. So it's how you use the technology. Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Did you want to do a meditation, Bhante?
Yeah, let's just try out the meditation. Usually I usually do it at the beginning, but since we have more time, I can do a guided meditation for everybody. So get in a relaxed posture, your favorite meditative posture. And just kind of like feel the body. How do you feel at this moment? This body and mind, how are you feeling? And adjusting the body to the maximum relaxed posture that you can. And not holding it. So ask your body, how would you like to sit? Instead of telling it, ask your body, how would you like to sit? And then we start off with the body scan. So I like to start off with my toes. And just wiggling your toes, feeling the sensations of your toe. And feeling the bottom of your feet. Feeling all the sensations. Then to your ankles, feeling your ankles. Up to your calves, giving them a stretch. Up to the kneecaps. Then your thighs. Buttocks. The lower back. the middle of your back. Your upper back, giving them a stretch. Then your shoulders. I like to scrunch up my shoulders really tight and then let go. And then to the arms. The elbows. Forearm. Your wrist. Hands. And fingers. Now moving to the stomach area. Giving that, moving up to the ribs. And to the chest. Focusing in the heart area. Just relaxing any tightness or tension there. Moving up to the neck. Giving your neck a stretch. Making sure your head is nicely balanced. Then moving up to the facial area now. I usually like to give myself a big smile. And then moving up to the muscles around your eyes. Just kind of give it a massage. And now the eyeballs, I like to twirl them around in a circular motion, massaging them. Moving up to the crown of the head. Just giving it a massage, easing any aches or pain. Now the body is very relaxed now. Just double checking any other parts or that you missed out. And giving it some relaxation. Now we move to the area of the mind. So now is the time. Imagine in your left hand you have a heavy suitcase called the PAST, the past. It's very heavy, so you gently put the suitcase of the past down. You can pick that up later. In your right hand, suitcase, heavy one, called the FUTURE, the future. All the worries and anxiety and fear, what you need to do next. You can put that suitcase down just for a while so you can rest. That feels much better. And what is left is this present moment. What's happening now? So we have an attitude of kindness and acceptance of what's happening now. Be it pleasant, unpleasant, you would be thinking or anything that seems very crazy to you. No, don't try to get rid of it. Be kind and open the door of your heart to whatever's happening. Let it be. Imagine it's like your son or daughter or your pet. You love them regardless of what they do. You have unconditional loving kindness to this present moment. When you put the water cup down, it's still going to shake. There's still going to be movement. So just be patient and kind. Okay, it's getting close to the end of the meditation. How do you feel? Feel that the body is much more relaxed when you first started. And the mind has settled down, less thinking. Now, now we'll ring the gong 3 times, and on the 3rd ringing, please slowly come out of the meditation. Welcome back.
Thank you, Bhante, for the talk today.
You're welcome.
The, answering all those questions and for the guided meditation at the end. Thank you.
Okay.
We just got a couple of announcements here to go through. Last week I did mention that we do need some help. Our events lead has stepped down, and as a result of that, some of our due to some very high demands from his employer as well as his family commitments. This leaves us exposed particularly for the planning of our upcoming robe offering event in a ceremony at the end of October. So we're calling out for those who could join the events team with particular in these areas of event planning, event coordination, or volunteering support and engagement. If you can help, you can go to bsv.net.au/event-team. There's also a poster out in the foyer for that if you'd like to complete the online form. We have, just for people who are not familiar, we have 2 major events that we run on the Buddhist calendar each year. So it's the Vesak in May and the robe offering ceremony in sort of October timeframe. So if you're able to help with those, we'd deeply appreciate that. And now just on to some other, this week's teaching program. So Venerable Sumangalo, you're doing tomorrow night, aren't you? Yeah, that's right. It's down here. Sorry, it's my error. So Tuesday night, 7:30, we've got the layperson-led meditation. And that starts at 7:30 p.m. Friday night, 7 p.m., we've got the Discover Buddhism series starting the Introduction to Buddhist Thought and Practice week number 1. So that's starting this Friday. And then we've got next week's teaching program. We've got the Sunday Dhamma talk we've got by Venerable Hojun Futin. And then Monday night meditation will be given by Ajahn Sodaro. That's it for announcements. Thank you, Ajahn, for giving us the talk again, or Bhante for giving us the talk again.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And please feel free to come across and for the lunch dana and the pinapada. Thank you.